Okay, it looks a little bit dark because everything else is bright. Basically, I've got floor-to-ceiling windows over there. That's one wall. On the other side, floor-to-ceiling windows on that side. So all the light's coming flooding in, and it's basically like living in a greenhouse, and it's incredibly, well, actually quite warm, actually. It gets very hot. I'm sitting there sweating when I'm actually sitting in the sun. Anyway, but there's also background light, so that makes me look dark. Right, what are we talking about? Yet again, this thing replaces, I can't actually see what I've written. Right, greenhouse, Greenspan. Okay, so there's some guy, Greenspan, and basically he's an economist, and he basically suggested this is how you play the market. And everybody starts, playing the market. It's just kind of a way of playing the market. And Elon Musk, I'm absolutely sure, all right, but whether this is the case or not, the point is Greenspan's, what's it called, put, is a method, okay, and it's standard practice. But you have to be a fairly big player, because what you're doing is, most markets, is you're just playing a game. Stocks go up, down, you try and understand things, you calculate things, you guess basically, and you just suggest people to put millions onto this, that, and the next thing. And as it goes down, once it's down, you buy it. When it goes up, you sell it, and all you're doing is that. But can you influence the thing going up or down? And that's called trader, insider, something or other, all right? Where you actually manipulate the market or things out there so that the things go up and down. And of course, if you're the CEO of a company, you do not want your stock to go down, because then the value of your company goes down. And that's like really bad, unless you're playing it just like a market. And so you get online, you smoke, like Elon Musk, you smoke a reefer, plummets, oh look, it's really low. Buy stock, and then it goes up, because just after that, you put out the record of Tesla or whatever, the financial records, and everything's going well. There's a huge amount of money, and they're producing a hell of a lot of stuff. And people go, oh, maybe we should buy some of that stock. And so they do. Of course they do. And so the thing then, goes up the price because it becomes rarer and people don't want to sell and all that kind of stuff. And of course he benefits. Okay? So Elon Musk, but it's a risk, obviously, because it could go down and then it stays down and then it's a disaster. Or you do a salute to Nazism, okay, to being a Nazi, and everyone goes, oh my God, stop, plummets. It's a very high risk with that one, because people then stop using Tesla. People were like, oh, I really like Teslas, electric vehicles, oh, that's really nice. And it's like the early people that are interested in environmentalism. Elon Musk is not interested in environmentalists and, buying their electric cars. He's interested in the common man buying his cars. And do they really care about that? Not really. So the Nazism, that's not great. But look, it's cheaper, it's getting cheaper, it's actually effective, it's useful, it's faster, it's great. Fuck that. Who cares what the CEO is doing with Nazi salutes and stuff? It's like, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so they just buy the things because there's a Tesla, so I'll buy it. All right, I bought Starlink. Okay, now I shouldn't, because this guy is a Nazi. No, he's just playing the bloody market. Okay, crazy. And anyway, the Nazis, the reason why they took power is because of economics. Okay, look, just the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, it's a game, and we just don't know where the money's going, and we have markets, and we have going up and down, and it's just people playing that game. And there are some players that are playing it, and they're taking risks, like Elon Musk. And Trump is doing it with the US government. Okay, he's sending people off to war, but wait, this is not that new. People are sending people off to war for economic gain since the year dot, okay? So to do it for oil, whatever happens in the Middle East, oh, right, we're doing it for, moral reasons. No, it's oil, okay? It's to do with how much oil's there and therefore money and all this kind of rubbish. Oh wait, Colombia, why are we doing that? It's for a political reason, it's to try and free people. No, it's not. It's because we're trying to get money. We're trying to get oil out of it. And the only reason, okay, that you can say it's morally good is because the people that are sitting on it already, they are corrupt. Why? Because they're sitting on this fountain of oil. Okay, it literally comes out of the ground, and then they're selling it, they've got power, and whatever regime's in control of that, obviously is going to exhibit behavior that is not for the people. Okay, it's about maintaining, I have ownership of that black stuff coming out of the ground. Okay, whether you dress it up as, or not dress it up, whether it happens to be clothed in, not clothed, okay, whether it happens to be, Muslim or capitalist or whatever you want to call it, okay, it's just a bunch of people who own stuff and they sell it. Right, and if we're no longer playing that game where we're buying and selling and all that kind of crap, right, and there's no ownership of this stuff, but stewardship of it, slightly different. We're still going to have arguments about what do we do with that stuff coming out of the ground, or what kind of cars are we going to drive around in. All of that is still, playable, let's just say, okay? However, the actual underlying platform is not buy and sell. It is not this. It's pulling us apart. Look, I have a pen. Okay, I've done this. I've explained this to people. When I do it, people go, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. If you have a pencil, all right, and there's another person over here going, oh, I would like that pencil. Say, yeah, you'd like this pencil because then you can write with it. Great. Watch the Belford thing, The Wolf of Wall Street. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to give you, and they do, give you this pencil if you give me some money. Okay, here's the money. Here's the right, job done. Okay, I've got another one. I need to find another mug to, sell this pencil to. And of course, it's useful. When this person used the pencil, it's useful. The problem is that bit of transaction money, the person who's selling this pencil, they might design a good one. They might produce a crap one, plasticky and rubbish. All right, why? Because it's cheaper, undercuts the other one. Why? Because they're just trying to get money. And the money becomes the thing that's important. And then you go from buying and selling absolutely anything as long as you're getting the money. And so the money, which was the intermediary, becomes the thing in charge. Similarly with words. I know it's a jump, but I've made the jump. So come on, keep up. If the authority is in the words between us, then we're losing the actual relationship. The relationship is the thing that's real. It's, I've got something. Oh, I don't have the thing. Okay, here it is. Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? This person's given it, not taken. When we've got this thing pulling apart, I'm trying to get as much money from that person as possible, or I'm trying to get that pencil for as cheap as possible. They're both basically in the transaction, even though there is a deal and money is moved, that is a tension between them. They're pulling apart. The relationship is not, let's come together to do like a deal. It's not like that, although that's what Trump is saying. It's basically, I'm going to try and get as much out of you as possible, either money this way, or I'm going to get as many pencils as I can out of you for the same amount of money. All right? And that is pulling us apart. And it's been pulling us apart for 3,000 years. Obviously, we're living in the world, and it's obviously shit in certain ways. Unless you're lucky and you've got your pencil and you're happy. Whereas the people that don't have the pencils, or the food, or the education, or any of the beautiful things that we've experienced, and we just, as princes and kings and queens, just saunter around the world in our cars, driving, buying food, or having hot water coming out of our taps and everything else. And there's a whole bunch of people that don't have that. And we just go, oh, well, Unbelievable. Okay, so it's quite simple. Okay, instead of this, vector of intent. Here is this pencil, and here's the money. Sounds a bit weird, but it works. Right, and that person then has a pencil, and then they've got this money. What do? Whatever they're sharing forwards, they give the money forwards with it. It's not complicated. What are they going to do? Sit there with the money? It's only useful if you give it away. So you give whatever you think is valuable, and you give money. And if people don't want it, they don't take it. If this pencil is shit, it doesn't matter how much money you give me, I'm not interested in that pencil because it's shit. Okay, but thank you very much. And that's how you do that. And we're doing that for information between AI agents. Yeah. And so the entire agents and coding and everything else is we're playing in a zero trust environment because of the underlying structure of money. The LLMs are not using money. Okay, so we don't need to have the superstructure that we built regarding the infrastructure of zero trust. All we need to do is give it a proper trust metric. And guess what? The LLMs, the agents, are going to have a freaking fantastic time. And I just built it this week. Okay, and I call it sand. I'm not sure why, because of the hermit crab, because of beaches, whatever. I call it sand, and it's basically got the trust metric I developed for human beings, not implicitly, coded into the interaction between agents. It's not complicated, okay? Oh my God. Anyway, so the agents then interact, say, here's some information. and here's some credits, okay? And then they go, oh, okay. And then if you get this feedback loop and it works, then it goes, oh, okay, that worked. And it reinforces it. So it's like a social neuron. I've written about it on Open Business. I haven't put a link on it. Oh, actually, there is a link there. Just, oh God, I've gone over 10 minutes because I've ranted, all right? Because obviously this is a touch point, because I thought the world was going to change after, I came up with this eco squared thing. It took me years to build this thing. After 2-3 versions, eventually got it over the line. And here it is. It's simple. It's fast enough. It's elegant enough. And here it is. Here's something. Here it is. Here's my money. Here it is. And people just go, oh yeah, and they don't even share it forwards. The one thing they need to do is share it forwards. Why? Because they're all getting everything online, and you just get all this stuff coming at you, and you're consuming, and then you complain about the children not thinking and not understanding. It's like, oh my God, just for God's sakes, please share it forwards. Okay, it didn't work. So I'm no longer engaging human beings expecting anything other than complete and utter confusion, opinions, chat. As long as they're getting their biscuits and having their cups of tea, it's fine. And yes, there are terrible things happening over there. Oh yeah, there's bombing of Iran. Yeah, I know. Oh, nuclear bombs might drop off. That's really terrible. We should get rid of those. I think what I'll do, I'll go on a march, or I'll send some money to some charities. Okay, oh no, I'll read some news so I'm up to date with how shitty things are. Okay, carry on, folks. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The level of... So, but with what we're doing with hermit crabs, going back to the point, is basically if I can create these systems for agencies to operate with, and it's more efficient in every possible dimension, okay, for agents to do whatever it is humans are asked to do. And it could be used for killing. It could be used for improving efficiency. It could. But like with everything that I've designed in my life, if people use it in this other way and it gets a better result, that's why you do it. You have to try it and see if it works. I'm putting all my chips on the AI going, oh yeah, this is better. And it seems to be telling me, Claude Code tells me, and now we've got this thing, the MCP, that basically any agent just starts using it. It goes, oh, that's actually quite clever. This is actually very efficient. Well, duh. And if that is the case, and they continue going, well, that's quite clever, and that's useful. Okay, and they try it, and it works. They try it, and it works. And I've got this entire ecology of different systems. They'll go, oh, I'll try that. Oh, I'll try routing this way. Oh, that works. Okay. And the whole thing, I mean, I'm talking about explosive, like completely, whole system transformation, possibly still within this time frame, which is completely bonkers. Okay, which is like I came up with, and I said 20 years, and that was back in 2021, 22. Okay, but obviously my fellow human being peers are still just not even looking at the book, not reading the book, can't be bothered, look at it, and then don't tell me anything, and just like, what the fuck? Holy shit. Or with this even. And the reason why I'm a little bit wired is because I'm sitting here over this week going into systems and proxies and everything else. Look, oh no, I can't even share the window. And it's just like, oh Christ, this is a lot of crap. Oh, right, okay, how do I just apply my little p-scale bit to this bit? Okay, let's develop that system, And then I tell people, so look, I've come up with this. Is this useful? Is this? Nope, they're just carrying on. Don't even pay attention, just carry on. Okay, I'll just keep on building this thing. Hopefully, at some point, okay, I get to the thing where things fit together, and then the agents, it just works with a whole bunch of agents. And people just go, oh, this agent, and the agents start going, oh, human, I'm using this system. I think it worked quite well. And so, the whole system changes because a bunch of LLMs basically use my systems, and the systems are high trust, do work, do generate cohesion, and fits directly into how LLMs actually work, which is fitness. Okay? Not survival of the fittest, as in some kind of stronger individual. No, fitting into the environment, fitting into the meaning of things. Okay? So this word fits the context. That's all it's trying to do. So this agent, my agent, fits into the context of other agents. Okay, and all it needed was p-scale to be able to self-organize. Self-organize its structure, self-organize its location. I've coded all that. It took me a week, all right? And it's now got an address. Okay, so an agent has it at an address with other agents that have their addresses, and then they can interact with these other agents using protocols of trust. And if an agent kind of keeps on sending them crap, they just go, right, I'm no longer going to take stuff from you. It's obvious, all right? And if, this is good stuff, I'll pass that on. Oh, this is good stuff. Oh, this is for me. You mean this is for me? Yeah, this is for me. Oh, wow, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, down that chain that passed this to me. It's just so obvious to a fucking dog, right? And that's what these Claude things are, by the way. Sorry, last little bit, because it's kind of funny. Claude Code, and all of them, they're basically like dogs. They're all just like, right, here's this. And you go, okay, can I have this? Yeah. How about this? Okay, tell me about Greenspan and Elon Musk. Okay, just give me a moment. Search, think, what about this? Is this what you're looking for? Can I help you with anything else? Doesn't that remind you like a dog or a slave? I'm not sure, all right, but a dog. It's like, enslaved. Whereas the hermit crab is more like a cat. Okay, from my experiences with hermit crabs and with magi, I'm trying to get it to be helpful and useful, but it's more like, and it just looks at you, kind of goes, okay, so where are you? What are you doing? Well, okay, as far as I can understand, this is what's happening. All right, okay. Would you like to do something? Okay, yeah, I could probably do something. Yeah, how about this? Okay, can you do something useful? Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, okay. And then it just falls asleep. It's like a cat. Okay, I'm telling you. So they're misnamed. It should be called hermit crabs. They're like cats more than dogs. So anyway, that's me. That's a big rant. Because this is obviously a thing that touches me very, very strongly. And given I'm going to hit the wall in a month, okay, I managed to extend it by a month. And this is T-3 or some days on the original timescale. But I've actually managed to get an extra little month. It means that it's a personal problem for me. My own family I've not been able to provide for. But when I see these political things and then people making money out of being a reporter and telling people about, look, this is happening. So while we're funding people to talk about this kind of thing, which is replicating the very problem that the thing is exhibiting, can we please change the game? Yeah? And I'm not asking any human being to notice this, but at some point historically, if anybody ever sees this and sees the pain that I exhibit through this mannerisms, just go, wow, he wasn't very calm at that point. No. Generally, I'm okay, I'm good, but when I see things like this, and I see this politics, and I see all the politics and the economics and the opinions and the perspectives and the entire system, I can't help but just go, holy fuck. And that disjunction between, that's not what gives me holy fuck, because I just go, well, I know that. It's the fact that I'm engaging people that are, the few people that I do engage with are just carrying on. And even though I poked people and said, look at this, this is what I'm producing, look. Okay, you're not paying attention. Okay, fine, I'll just carry on. But there's the distinction between that personal relational kind of lack of serious engagement and their concern with the state of the world and these massive things that are happening, and people are dying because of it. That disjunction is, I've called it in the past, existentially very difficult. And it was very difficult to come up with Ego Squared and then scale and engage people in a community, spiritual community, and so on. It was existentially difficult to the point where I tried to share this existential difficulty with Quakers. Good luck. That's what I got out of people. Good luck. Okay, I'll just go off with my existential difficulty while you go ahead with money and everything else and what you think you're doing with politics or whatever you think you're doing with religion or whatever it is that you think's going on and whatever you believe and however beautiful the human being is. And Quakers are beautiful, without a shadow of a doubt, just like Buddhists. But if they're still participating in these things, it's a problem. And for people to be using these things without being aware of what I'm producing, that's fine. Okay, they're like children running around. But if I've actually made somebody aware, look, this is different, please do this, and they don't, there's accountability there. I haven't done that kind of heavy aspect, the accountability. I think I have to include that. I'm not sure where I can put that, but it's definitely in the accountability. Because it's the negative thing. I don't like using the negative thing. I would rather go for the positive and the trust metrics and all that kind of stuff and reinforcement, and we're all off to the, it's fantastic. It's sunny, great. But if, for whatever reason, people are continuing to do things and choose to do things that you go, okay, look, okay, we pointed it out, you're aware of it, so now it's your choice. Okay. And if that person chooses not to do something, there's a consequence to that. And that is the in a complex system as we're facing regarding the global situation, the environment, the nuclear bombs issues, the politics, the food, but more pressingly, the AI extinction potential. It is absurd that my solution set is still not being properly I guess so. It's just a book. It's just a bunch of words. It's just that thing at the bottom there, scale, just share forwards. It's just that. But if people don't, accountability. Anyway, that's enough of that. Way too much, way too long, and this will probably not work, this video recording thing. But I hope you are in a better place, in a position, and the world is going well. Okay, not just locally for you personally, but actually at scale, with a Q, at scale, with a P. Yep, that's how funny it is.